Hello children. Today's topic of our session is restriction enzyme, which are the prime requirements of biotechnology, and let us have a little bit information about it. They are also called as molecular scissors. Why molecular scissors? Because they are capable of cutting through the genetic material of an organism. And these restriction enzymes are naturally occurring in prokaryotes. They are abundantly found in prokaryotes. And what's the function of these molecular scissor or the restriction enzymes in the prokaryote is to save the prokaryotic cell from the invasion of bacteriophages. Now, what are bacteriophages? I hope you know. They are the viruses which infect bacteria. So once the virus infects the bacteria, it will ingest, or it will just send the its genetic material inside the bacterial cell. So before that genetic material is incorporated into the genetic material of the bacteria, these restriction enzymes which are present in the bacteria, they have capacity to cut that bacteriophage DNA so that it does not affect the bacteria. So it's a kind of a defense mechanism in case of the bacteria. And we humans, for biotechnology purpose, we have isolated these restriction enzyme from the prokaryote for our use. So these restriction enzymes are bacterial in origin. They are present in the bacteria. Now when we talk about these restriction enzyme, just the information which you can see in this slide, this HIND2, HIND2 was the first isolated restriction enzyme, and the organism from where it was isolated is Haemophilus influenzae. And this particular restriction enzyme, or in any case restriction enzyme, they cut the DNA by inspecting the full DNA for the palindromic sequence, and where they find this palindromic sequence, or another name is recognition sequence, they cut the DNA from there. Now how this cutting happens, what is palindromic sequence, we will look into further slides. As we go for the journal information of the restriction enzymes, till day we have nearly 200 different types of restriction enzymes which has been isolated from the bacteria, and they are extensively used in biotechnology. These restriction enzymes basically are they come into the category of a big class called as nucleases. And nucleases are the type of enzyme, and underneath nucleases there are two types of restriction enzyme. One we call them as exonucleases, and another one we call it as endonucleases. Function: exonucleases, they cut the DNA from the ends, like now if it is 5' or 3' end, so they will cut the DNA from the ends. Whereas endonucleases, which are much more in use, they can cut the DNA from the middle. But the criteria for the endonucleases or this restriction enzyme is that they have to find out the recognition sequence, and then only wherever in the whole of the DNA that recognition sequence of a specific restriction enzyme is present, they are going to cut the DNA at that place only. That means each restriction enzyme has its own specific recognition sequence. One recognition sequence cannot be common for all the restriction enzymes. So whichever restriction enzyme we use, we are sure shot that it will cut at one place only, or that recognition sequence, wherever it will be present in that DNA, it is going to cut. So if we have to go for if we have to cut the DNA at various places, that means we have to use different types of restriction enzyme. So that is a benefit whenever we are following the whole of the recombinant DNA process. Let's move ahead. Now once we talk about the restriction enzyme, there are many names. I'm just moving the slide forward. Like we have the names called as EcoR1, HIND2, BAM-H1, EcoR2. These are the names of there are many names. They are just 4 or 5 I've listed here. There are many different types of restriction enzymes, and near to it you can see the organisms from where they are obtained. Like in case of EcoR1, it was obtained from Escherichia coli RY13. Hind2 was obtained from Haemophilus influenzae RD. BAM-H1, that is obtained from Bacillus amyloliquefaciens H. Then EcoR2, E. coli, Escherichia coli R247. Now these are the organisms from where these restriction enzymes are obtained, and there are nearly 200 of them that we talk about it. But the question comes that how these names have been given, like ECO, ECO, R1. So like that it can be kept in any way? No. There is a definite pattern whenever the nomenclature of the restriction enzymes are given. Let's have a look at them. We take an example of a restriction enzyme called, as you can see in the slide, ECOR1. Now ECOR1, that is that line which is representing 1. Now what does each and every alphabet mean? It is not written as such. There is a meaning why only these few letters are used to represent a restriction enzyme. Now listen carefully. The first letter E. E represents the origin of the restriction enzyme, the genus name. I'm reverting the slide. The first one you can see, ECOR1, Escherichia coli. So from Escherichia coli, E is taken as the first letter, and COL, that is the name of the genus, is taken as the second letter. So ECO. So E comes as from the genus of Escherichia, and coli, CO, comes from the species name of the bacteria. Then comes the R. That means, now in case of bacteria, there are many strains of the bacteria. So this particular enzyme is coming from which strain? That is the R strain. So the name R, the word R is present after ECOR. And then the last one, 1. 1 represents, that is, what is the number of that restriction enzyme obtained from that bacteria. It is either the first one or the second one or the third one. So which number of that enzyme has been obtained from that bacteria. So if it is written 1, that means this is the first restriction enzyme which was obtained from Escherichia coli. So ECO, capital R, and 1 represents one meaning to it. E meaning the genus from which it is obtained, CO meaning the species from where it is obtained, R means which strain, from which strain it is obtained, and 1 means which number of restriction enzyme has been obtained from it. Now I'm just reading the whole slide. The first letter is derived from the genus name, and next 2 letters are from the species name of the prokaryotic cell from where the enzyme is extracted. The Roman number following the name show the order in which the enzymes were isolated from the bacterial strain. Now this is how all the enzymes are named, so that once you read the name of the restriction enzyme, it clearly it clicks in the mind that from which source material this restriction enzyme has been extracted. So it's a kind of a nomenclature of the restriction enzyme. And as we all know, there are around 200 and many more on the way for the when the restriction enzymes are present in the scientific world. And why they are important? Because restriction enzyme, the use of the restriction enzyme, or as they are commonly called as molecular scissors, they are the first step to the biotechnology. Biotechnology, where we actually play with the DNA. We manipulate the DNA for our use. So we cannot work with the DNA unless and until we can cut the DNA wherever we want and incorporate the DNA wherever we want. So incorporation though cannot be done with the restriction enzyme, but yes, we can cut the DNA, and we have another enzyme we will discuss in further sessions which has capacity to attach the desired DNA, that is DNA ligase, that's the enzyme. So these are some of the steps of the biotechnology. So usage of molecular scissor is the first step of the biotechnology. I hope this is a small thing which is clear. I am just going through whatever we have explained. Restriction enzyme belongs to a class of enzymes called as nucleases and are of 2 types, exonuclease cuts the DNA at the ends. Endonuclease cuts at the specific position in the DNA. The recognition sequence of the endonuclease are palindromic, that is, sequence of the base pair read in the same on both the DNA strands when orientation of the reading is kept same. Now we will discuss about this palindromic sequence in the coming session when we talk about the mechanism of the restriction enzyme, how they function. This can be dealt in the next session. At this point, let us have a look at a slide here.
Enzymes. In the year 1963, the two enzymes responsible for restricting the growth of bacteriophage in E. coli were isolated. One of these added methyl groups to DNA, while the other cut DNA. The latter was called restriction endonuclease. Restriction enzymes belong to a larger class of enzymes called nucleases. These are of two kinds, exonucleases and endonucleases. Exonucleases remove nucleotides from the ends of the DNA, whereas endonucleases may cut at specific positions within the DNA. Restriction endonuclease always cut DNA molecules at a particular point by recognizing a specific sequence of 6 base pairs. This specific base sequence is known as recognition sequence. More than 900 restriction enzymes have been isolated from 230 strains of bacteria, each of which recognize different recognition sequences. Example, restriction enzymes. E. coli. E represents the genus name Escherichia. Co represents species name Escherichia coli. These three letters are written in italics. R, name of the strain. Roman numbers following the names indicate the order in which the enzymes were isolated from that strain of bacteria.